Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic 2006. Aquatic Base S rank. You know, the problem I have commenting over this video is that there is no special trick or tactic or anything that I can recommend, and I can't be like, oh yeah, because of my absolutely amazing skills I developed the secret technique to be extremely efficient about it. It's just Aquatic Base. It's the exact same story that it is for all of the other aquatic bases. You go through without dying and you're gonna be fine. That's it. There is nothing special about it, and I'm almost disappointed because, you know, I don't like this level. It's very boring most of the time, but I would have appreciated if they had shown a little teeth for the S rank and forced me to basically learn where the positions of invisible enemies are, take out those leaders first so that I can get the point bonuses, you know. All of the stuff I praised for all of the other levels, like Crisis City, even though that was a pain in the ass, and whoa, whatever happened here, it was cool though. But that's just not the case here. This level here is extremely straightforward. There is nothing cool and special or whatever about it. I guess I could do some speedrun skips, like directly go to the button here, but I don't want to because the door doesn't open and I would have to do another speedrun trick to go through the door. So I'm just going to do this mostly legit, except that I'm once again going to skip the dumbass bubbles because I hate them so much. Which admittedly got me killed like twice. You're going to see this in the end, but otherwise this is just, you know, the one time where I didn't die to something stupid. Woo, third attempt. Not difficult, nothing really to write home about, and I'm sorry if this is a little bit grumpy. I'm just frustrated with not being able to add anything meaningful here. This is basically similar to the Dusty Desert one, where I got it immediately, and what you see is what you get basically. Just remember somewhat where the doors are, go through at a reasonable pace, and you're going to have in the end, because of the billions of enemies here, you will have about 2/3 of your score being made of enemy score. This was close, by the way. This could easily have cost me a life, but well, whatever. Just start again, it's only been 2 minutes. And 1/3 or time score. That does mean, yes, that you should dawdle too much. You shouldn't aim to kill every single enemy, unless of course you have to, like here, and it gives you a lot of points. Because in the end it is a little bit about efficiency. So I guess this is a valid thing that I can tell you. I still take my time waiting for the giants to be vulnerable here. I don't think that there is a better way to do that. It is a little cheesy, you know, stunning and killing them, but waiting for the projectiles takes even longer. So yeah, do that. We've seen that before. Psycho Shock is busted, so just use it all the time. It's basically the most time save you can get from Silver is just killing enemies efficiently, especially Iblis enemies, which is also probably one of the biggest failures of that level, is that they didn't just put robots here. Because as we have learned so far, it is extremely boring to fight Iblis enemies. There's just not anything special or interesting about them. And with robots, at least you can do fun stuff with all of the missiles they throw out. Yeah. I'm really struggling to come up with something to say here. You see how it is with all of the projectiles they give you here, all of the boxes and all of the exploding stuff and the enemies you can yourself throw onto other enemies, but none of that matters because you're always just going to shock them and instantly kill them, and you get all of the points for them. If at least they had the leader enemy system here in place for some of them, like here for example, why isn't this one a leader that kills everything else and then gives you a bunch of points? But no, these birds are not linked to it. They can do that, they do that in Flame Core, but it's just not the case, and that means that there is no reason to be efficient or do anything else than the Psycho Shock, because if you remember correctly, if we put up something with Psycho Shock and don't throw it against the wall, then you're not actually going to get the bonus points. So that would have been an interesting tactical decision here, even though I probably think this is kind of a bug. because why does it work that way? It's really weird. Doesn't seem intended to me, but at least you could have some emergent gameplay from that, I guess. But the most emergent thing that I have here is that, once again, as I said, I'm not going to do the ball part. It is so bad. I hate it so much. It's just because you can never tell. I don't think that I've articulated that well during the live recording, but it's extremely difficult for me and everybody else, I think, to tell where in space the ball actually is. How far are you, how close are you to the laser barriers? It is very, very hard to tell that, because there is no frame of reference you really have here. And that means that you will probably get hit by the laser barrier because you misjudged by a centimeter, and the hitboxes are also rather generous on part of the laser barriers, and then you fall down and you die and you have to do the entire 5 minutes leading up to that again. I'm not doing that, I'm rather trust my platforming skills. This is how this ends up being a little bit tense, which, you know, again, I kind of appreciate. It's a lot better than waiting with the ball all the time. And it's also the thing is, like, even if you were really good at judging the distance where the lasers are, you would still have to be extremely patient for every single transition. The moment you hurry, that is the moment where you're going to die instantly, and that is just supremely unfun to begin with. It is negative fun. It's terrible gameplay and a design that should never have been in the final level, and I am absolutely blaming the very hard makers here. Why didn't they just cut it out? They are extremely capable of taking level segments that don't work and just not have them in their final very hard product, but I guess they thought it was iconic or something. I mean, it is kind of hard, of course, especially if you skip it. It's much harder if you skip it, but it is much more fun, and this is why I'm doing it. And also, I genuinely think that I am actually better at the silver hover platforming than I am at trying to get the balls correctly aligned within the laser gates, because, you know, that sucks. It's terrible. But yeah. Anyway, we are... Oh god, I was like, oh yeah, this is about the final room, right? It's like, no, I'm looking at the video timestamp, we were halfway through. God damn it, this level. Just pacing wise, it's just so much of the same and nothing is interesting about it. But you've heard me bitch before already. It's like, the thing is, you know, it's also something I should clarify. There is a lot to dislike about Sonic 06, like, obviously. Like, everybody has said their piece about that and how the controls suck and how Silver is a failure of a character and the Havoc physics, blah blah blah. And a huge mission statement of mine was like, if you know how to deal with all of these things, it's not actually that bad. And for a lot of things, the level design actually holds up fairly well. And there is many cool sequences and lots of fun you can have with them. And this is why I'm so specifically critical of levels like this, because that is not true. You have a level that is badly designed, that is not fun in the slightest, in many of its fundamental aspects. I got completely turned around by the camera here, by the way. Also cool. And you are doing this in Sonic 06, you know? If this was a game where just playing it, for example, as Silver especially, would be fun, like if the combat were cool, or you did some cool jumps here or there, or generally the controls were nice and pleasant and smooth, then it wouldn't matter that much that the level is a boring slog. But because we are playing Sonic 06, it matters very much that the level is a boring slog, and that is a big issue, absolutely, for sure. Something I've also wondered about, by the way, is that did they change something in this room regarding the laser gates and how they are exactly set up and how the path of the ball is to take through them? Because the thing is, and I think I've touched upon this before, I've never done this room legit in any version of it. Like, not normal, not hard, not very hard. I've always just completely ignored the ball and skipped it. In my very first playthrough I didn't do it, because in the middle of it, like what we just passed, there is this sequence of 2 laser gates where you have to, I think, deactivate one of them with that switch, and then you get back on the ball, and then you go through them somehow, and that doesn't work at all, and I don't know how it is supposed to be done. You know, I'm always a very big proponent of playing games the way they are meant to be played, But I genuinely, through all of my years by now, oh god, it's been years of experience with Sonic 06, I have never figured out this room because I've never cared to do so. Is that a personal failure? I guess. Is anybody in the planet going to blame me for that, including myself? I sure hope not. Always skip this room. Once again, it's much more fun, and here at the very least you can activate the pillars and kill all the enemies, and it makes number pop up, and you get a point bonus. Isn't that fun? That's great fun. The biggest issue, as always, is just this final part here, and this is, after all, what taught me the hover trick in my original very first playthrough. And once again, because it is pretty much required for many of the very hard levels, I'm just going to say it is here as well, huh? Let's just not talk about this anymore. Great. Radical, in fact. See? You can turn them red, that just doesn't matter. They are too far away on the other side. Wow, that's like a change? Question mark? But hey, actually, oh, that's something. I lured them here by being patient, and now they are in range of that thing. It doesn't just kill everything in the entire room, it does have a specific range to it. Invisible radius, like Silver Psycho Shock, it's pretty big radius actually. So yeah, that was a possibility. And why did this guy die? I don't know, I think because I activated this one. Yeah, sure. Anyway, I could have also walked to the other side and touched the pillar there. I just didn't know that it was there originally. Whoops. Anyway, this one here is also one there. I always get hit here, and I've never been able to figure that one out. That's just copy-pasted from the hard version. And I am so glad that I don't have to figure that out, because this is finally, thank you, yes, timestamp, the final room in the game. And that does mean that if I had to keep my rings from earlier, plus the few rings that are in this room, I would be in massive trouble because I wouldn't know how. But fortunately, once again, I got about a third of the points I need in just total score, and I will have enough time bonus, because 12 or 13, once I'm done, minutes counts as efficient for Aquatic base. Jesus Christ. And in the end, that is all fine and good, and I have already done it, and there is nothing that was remotely challenging about this. And I'm glad when this video is over and I never have to do Aquatic base with Silver again, because it always, without fail, is a miserable experience, both to do, just gameplay wise, and also to commentate over, because there's just nothing to this level. I'm sorry for repeating myself so often. Make a better level next time and I won't rag on it so much. Anyway, as you can see, conclusion was plenty of time bonus, plenty of score bonus, nice 69,000, and I didn't need the rings at all except to stay alive. Wonderful. As I said, third try. There are just a few failures, fortunately not too costly, just a little bit of slipping off stuff whenever I tried to skip things too much. This one here is like 6 minutes in, okay, that's not fun, but you know, it's just like whatever in the grander scheme of things. I did it in the end. Thank you very much for your attention.